Hey there, friend. You know how sometimes you read a book and it just clicks, like it puts into words something you've always felt but could never quite articulate? Well, I just finished reading Simon Sinek's Leaders Eat Last: Why Some Teams Pull Together and Others Don't. And let me tell you, it completely blew my mind. It's not just a business book, it's a deep dive into human nature. And frankly, it made me look at work, leadership, and even just our daily interactions in a totally new light. I picked it up because I've always been fascinated by why some groups, whether it's a sports team, a family, or a company, just work together seamlessly, while others, even with super talented people, fall apart. This book gives you the answer, and it's all rooted in our biology. So, what's the big idea? At its core, Sinek argues that truly great leaders create what he calls a circle of safety. Think about it like our ancient ancestors. The world outside the tribe was full of dangers, predators, scarcity, harsh weather, but inside the tribe, everyone was supposed to have each other's backs. When that internal safety existed, they could put all their energy into facing external threats and seizing opportunities. But if they had to constantly watch their backs from within the tribe from each other, then they were doomed. Sinek says the same applies to our modern organizations. When we feel safe among our colleagues and our leaders, we naturally cooperate, trust, and innovate. When we don't, we spend all our energy protecting ourselves from internal politics, backstabbing, or the fear of being laid off. And that, my friend, is a recipe for disaster. Now you might be wondering, how did these circles of safety actually form? This is where Sinek gets into the fascinating world of our neurochemicals. He breaks down four primary feel-good chemicals, calling two selfish and two selfless, and explains how they drive our behavior. First, we have the selfish chemicals that help us as individuals: endorphins and dopamine. Endorphins are like our body's natural pain maskers, giving us the runner's high or making us feel good when we do manual labor or even laugh a lot. They kept our ancestors going during long hunts. And there's dopamine, which is all about progress and achievement. It gives you that satisfying rush when you cross something off your to-do list, reach a goal, or even just see a fruit tree getting closer. It makes us goal-oriented and drives us to get things done. But here's the kicker: dopamine is highly addictive. Sinek points out how modern life, with social media likes, emails, and constantly checking our phones, gives us these constant quick dopamine hits, leading to a kind of addiction to distraction or addiction to performance. So, if those are the selfish ones, what about the chemicals that bind us together? These are the selfless ones: serotonin and oxytocin. Serotonin is the leadership chemical, the feeling of pride and respect we get when others like or admire us, or when we feel valued for our contribution to the group. It also makes us feel accountable to those who support us. Like when Sally Field famously said, "You like me, right now, you like me." It's about mutual accountability, where leaders feel responsible for their people and people want to make their leaders proud. Then there's oxytocin, which is often called the love chemical. It's the feeling of friendship, love, or deep trust. It's released when we're physically close, do something nice for someone, or someone does something nice for us. This is the chemical that truly fosters trust, empathy, and loyalty, helping us feel safe within our group and even boosting our immune system and making us better problem solvers. Sinek illustrates these concepts with some truly impactful stories. He tells us about Captain Mike Droey, call sign Johnny Bravo, an Afghanistan pilot who flew through treacherous conditions in Afghanistan, risking his life to protect Special Operations Forces on the ground. Even though he couldn't see them. Why? Because he felt their anxiety, and his empathy for them spurred him to act, showing leadership as a second-by-second, minute-by-minute service. Then there's the incredible transformation at Barry Wehmiller and CEO Bob Chapman. Chapman, after realizing his factory workers felt like two different companies compared to office staff, removed time clocks, unlocked parts cages, and made company phones available to everyone. He started treating employees as people, believing that every single employee is someone's son or someone's daughter. When the 2008 financial crisis hit, instead of layoffs, he implemented a mandatory furlough system where everyone from CEO to factory worker took 4 weeks unpaid leave. His reasoning is better that we all suffer a little so that none of us has to suffer a lot. This decision fostered immense loyalty and commitment from his people. who then voluntarily swapped furlough weeks to help those who could afford it less. It's a powerful example of a leader sacrificing for his people, and the people repaying that sacrifice with loyalty and hard work. But what happens when leaders don't prioritize their people? Cynic shows how the emphasis on shareholder value, particularly from the 1980s onward, often led to prioritizing numbers over people, creating a destructive abundance. He talks about Jack Welch at G. Notice Neutron Jack for firing the bottom 10 of managers annually, a practice that maximized short-term profit but often fostered internal competition and fear. Contrast that with Jim Seneville at Costco, who believed in paying his employees well and offering great benefits, even when Wall Street analysts criticized him for being too benevolent. Costco's long-term stable growth proves that putting people first is not just good for morale but great for business. This leads to a really uncomfortable question that Cynic addresses: is it possible for good people to do bad things? He delves into the infamous Milgram experiment, where ordinary people were willing to administer what they believed to be painful, even lethal, electric shocks to strangers simply because an authority figure told them to. The key finding: the more abstract the victim became, the less they could be seen or heard, the more likely the participant was to obey. Cynic argues this abstraction kills in modern business too. When leaders are far removed from the people impacted by their decisions, seeing them as customers, employees, or metrics on a spreadsheet, it becomes easier to make decisions that cause harm, like the Peanut Corporation of America knowingly shipping contaminated products. It's a chilling parallel, isn't it? So how do we fix this abstraction problem? Cynic offers some clear rules. Firstly, keep it real, bring people together. He explains that while social media can give us dopamine hits, true trust and connection require face-to-face interaction. You can't build virtual trust. Secondly, keep it manageable, obey Dunbar's number. Anthropologist Robin Dunbar found that humans can only maintain about 150 close relationships. This means large organizations need to be structured into smaller, manageable groups to foster trust and cooperation. Thirdly, meet the people you help. Cynic shares a study where fundraisers dramatically increased their effectiveness after spending just 5 minutes meeting the students whose scholarships their work funded. Seeing the tangible human impact of our work is a powerful motivator. Fourthly, give them time, not just money. Just like you'd feel more inclined to help a friend who spent hours helping you move over one who just wrote a check, employees value leaders who invest their time and energy, not just salaries or bonuses. It builds loyalty beyond just financial incentives. Finally, be patient. The rule of 7 days and 7 years. Building deep trust and strong relationships takes time, sometimes more than 7 days, but certainly less than 7 years. Our modern world's instant gratification habit, fueled by dopamine, works against this natural human need for patience in relationship building. Cynic even shares the story of Captain David Marquette on the USS Santa Fe submarine, originally assigned to a different submarine. Marquette found himself leading a poorly performing crew on a vessel he wasn't fully familiar with. He realized his crew was trained to comply, not to think. He famously banned the phrase "permission to" and replaced it with "I intend to," shifting responsibility and empowering his crew to make decisions. This simple change transformed the Santa Fe from the worst-rated to the best-rated crew in Navy history, proving that when leaders give away control and trust their people, organizations thrive. So, what's the takeaway from all this? In a world that often feels unbalanced, obsessed with short-term gains and external metrics, Cynic's message is a powerful reminder of our fundamental human needs. We're wired to cooperate, to trust, and to belong. When leaders prioritize their people, create a safe environment, and foster genuine human connection, the selfish and selfless chemicals in our bodies come into balance. This leads to not just happier, more fulfilled individuals, but also to more innovative, resilient, and ultimately more successful organizations. This book isn't just theory, it's a call to action. It makes you ask, how safe do I feel where I work? And if the answer isn't very safe, then it encourages you to be the change, to be the leaders we wish we had. It reminds us that our jobs impact our health, our happiness, and even our families. So whether you're in a leadership role or not, The insights in Leaders Eat Last can help you build stronger relationships, not just at work, but in all areas of your life. Because at the end of the day, it's about making choices that serve others, fostering trust, and remembering that people are not numbers, they're human beings. And our strength comes from pulling together. It's a book that can fundamentally change how you approach your own career, your relationships, and your sense of purpose. Go check it out and let me know what you think.